Isiah Thomas reacted to Last Dance documentary, stating that he just still didn't understand how Mike could still hate the Pistons to this day, and he felt that if he knew that not shaking hands would not let him go on the dream team, he wouldn't have made that mistake. But the thing is you make your bed, now you gotta lay in it. Stephen A. confirmed that Michael Jordan said, to him personally that, hey, Mike respects Isiah. He thinks he's the second greatest point guard next to Magic Johnson. He has a respect and admiration for Isiah. Isiah said it publicly on his show as well. But what Isiah did in not shaking hands, it wasn't the only reason why he didn't get on the dream team. He had a reputation for the bad boy Pistons and playing a style of basketball that most people that were the opposing guys didn't enjoy. Like all those guys that are on the dream team, I'll say besides Magic Johnson, they didn't enjoy playing against Isiah Thomas because it wasn't necessarily all about basketball. It got way more personal, it got more in fisticuffs, more than it was like more about being on the court. And the thing with Isiah that I felt like he always kind of doesn't mention or doesn't address is the simple fact that none of this stuff got hashed out during the time period when it took place. Even if you look at Magic and Isiah sat down, I think it was a couple years ago, and they talked about the past and how they kind of like fell apart and everything like that, and they cried and they apologized to each other. It took them all that time for them to come together and apologize and bury the hatchet. Till this day, Isiah Thomas never buried the hatchet with Mike. He never he's like, oh, we're taking pictures and we were Larry Bird's daughter and we're all hanging out and chilling and stuff like that. But you never came to the man directly and Michael Jordan and say, hey, Mike, all that stuff, it was a misunderstanding. I didn't really hate you guys or nothing. I was just trying to do it the way that I was taught to me. Because according to Isiah Thomas, and this is a fact, when the Pistons beat the Celtics, to go to the NBA Finals, all the Celtics players, they walked off the court. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. I don't think they did it as early as Isiah Thomas did. However, they did walk off the court. Larry Bird walked off the court. Kevin McHale was trying to walk off the court, and Isiah Thomas went and caught him. And he said, nah, man, you're going to shake my hand. You're going to shake my hand. So according to Isiah, that's what he learned it from. But you also have your own learning, which is growing up as a kid. You grew up in Chicago, basketball, college, all that stuff. You shake your opponent's hand after you beat them. Or, you just acknowledge them like, hey, because the flip side to that was, look at this. Mike admired the Pistons. You got to understand he admired the Pistons in a sense. He shook their hands both the times he lost to them. So when he comes and he finally beats you, you can just say, hey, good game. Or when they're wide walking out, Mike, you did your thing. I respect you. They walked off and didn't say anything. And, of course, that was the bad boy persona. But now you want the bad boy persona to be diminished when it's time to go and play against, go and play for the dream team. I'm not a bad boy anymore. I'm a good boy now. I want to play with you guys. But that's not you see, everything that you do, your perception, everything that you give off, it comes with a price. If you have a nasty attitude towards things and you're a bad boy, this, that, and the third, you can miss some opportunities. So it wasn't just him not shaking hands with Mike. My thing with Isiah is this. This is really bothering Isiah. It hurts to see this really bother somebody who's very jovial, charismatic, but he feels like he's getting a bad rap. Even when Rod Thorne confirmed, like Michael Jordan didn't say if Isaiah's playing on his team that I'm not going to play for the Dream Team.
Never anything in my conversation with him that had to do with Isiah Thomas, period. He said, I'll do it. Everybody else said they would do it. Jordan Isaiah's name never came up during that conversation.
Initially, Mike said he didn't want to play for the Dream Team at all because he already did that as a youth. He played, as a professional, out of college and stuff like that. But he said that was more like a young man's game because back in the day, they didn't use professionals. So that being said, Rod Thornton was like, hey, then he changed his mind and said yes, but we never talked about Isiah Thomas. If anything, Isiah should really be mad at, Chuck Daly got arrested. So, like, hey, you coached me before. Why you ain't get me on the team, bro? I don't care about no Michael Jordan. Nobody care about that. Get me on the team. I'm better than Stockton. Get me on the team. He should have took it out on the people that picked the team. Not necessarily Mike. Mike didn't have a direct hand in picking the team. He may have influenced it, like LeBron influenced and stuff like that. But at the same time, there's no document showing that Mike stopped you from being on the team. Now, guess what? There's documentation and oral record of you freezing out Mike in like the 1987 All-Star game, because they already knew he was the best player. 1988 All-Star game. There's record of that. See, that's what I'm saying. Everything you do comes with a price. Now, does the price, is it a fair price or whatever the case is? No. Everything, it's all subjective. However, I think that this has to get let go. And the only way that this is going to get let go is this. Isiah and Mike, they have to talk face to face. Because even in the documentary, Mike was like, what is he going to say? He's going to say after the fact. He's like, you can show me whatever you want to show me. Because Mike felt like Isiah, I think Mike, this is how Mike felt. Isiah, you was one of my heroes. And I met you in person and I played against you. And it's like, it was a whole different ball game. And I think a lot of people say this like in the music business, where they come into the business and they get to meet all these people. And then when they want to do a song with the person or reach out to the person for advice, the person shuns them. And that really hurts them. They're like, whoa, you're not who I thought you was, OG. You know what I'm saying? Like Rick Ross said, idols become rivals. And I think in a sense there, like Mike kind of had a lot of respect for Isiah. And when he did what he did, Mike was like, whoa, this is not the Isiah that I thought I would run into. So they both have to have like a sit down, a la the way Magic and Isiah did, and really just chop it up like, hey, man, I didn't mean no disrespect by it. Because they never talked about it. That's why it's always the elephant in the room. That's why Isiah feels like, hey, you didn't get me on the dream team. That's why Isiah feels he got a bad rap. Now, we're also ignoring the fact that the Bad Boy Pistons legacy, sexual harassment legacy of the Knicks. Isiah has had a lot of hiccups in his career that can account for why he wasn't chosen for a lot of things. He's had a lot of great successes, president of Players Association, stuff like that. A lot of hiccups, too. They just need to kind of come together for a chance of solidarity because what the Kobe Bryant passing away showed you is just like you got petty little beefs that don't mean anything, and you let them fester and affect people and stuff like that. And when that person's gone, you'll be like sitting there like, damn, like we still didn't talk about that one little thing that we could have just resolved. That don't make no sense. So, I hope they get past it, whatever, because the documentary they're talking about what happened during that time. But one of these guys, they got to come together, call each other on the phone, because it's not that deep, man. It's not that deep. Like, Mike didn't keep you off the team. You froze him out, though. And, Mike had respect for Isiah. You could see it in the documentary where he was trying to shake his hand multiple times. That being said, man, this needs to die. Like, this is like a ugly mark in the point of basketball because we're not talking about the torch being passed to Mike from the Pistons. How the Pistons basically created Mike. Like everything Mike was doing was like geared to beat the Pistons. Like I had to lift weights to get tougher, mentally sharp. They taught them all. They basically taught them all the tricks. Even some of the players from the Pistons came to play for the Bulls later on. So that being said, like there's a lot that could be taken from there. But all we're talking about is their beef. And to me, their beef was subsurface level and it had like a lot of outside talk. But, Isiah's sportsmanship thing, I think, kind of hurt Mike. We're supposed to be brothers and you embrace Magic. You embrace Bird and stuff like that. And that's another lesson for you. Larry Bird could do no wrong. He walked off the court on people and didn't even shake their hand. He never gets asked about it. Isiah Thomas is constantly asked about not shaking Michael Jordan's hand, which makes no sense. That's very hypocritical and it's undue and it's unfair. But at the same time, like I said before, you make your bed, you gotta lay in it. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, subscribe.